just live now. As I mentioned, now I have made this my as a ritual. If I talk about that, students have questions, I have the answers. I'm connected to various recruiters, I'm connected to various people who are working in the industries, and obviously I'm trying my best to actually bring more people. So like obviously I believe last week I created a video with I believe, just a second, let me quickly see. The video was with Sonia, I believe. Uh, yes, not last week. It was around 11 days ago. So we created a video on like she made her career in machine learning without having tech experience. So she was not from the computer science background. She did not complete anything related to computer science during her college days, but still she got the job. The question, if I talk about, or I should say, the focus of the article, again, I'm holding a pen. I just want to make sure that I don't wander around this topic. So, why recruiters are not calling me even I have submitted my application? Now, this is a very close topic for me because I'm currently recruiting Java developers. I'm recruiting React.js developers. I'm recruiting we are recruiting various developers, and we are facing some challenges, obviously, in terms of recruitment. So the basic reason why we are not why your applications are not getting the answers are quite simple. First of all, you have not read the JD properly. What does it mean? See, basically what happens, okay, just a second. I have to just confirm if I'm audible or not. I did not do that. I have to just confirm. Yeah, I am, fine. So, and I'll always also put these points in the charts. So in case if you're wondering. So you have not read the JD properly. Now, why this is important? See, basically what happens if I talk about in terms of a recruiter, in terms of a IT consulting company, or in terms of a staffing company, whatever you want to call it, they're working with someone. Either it is their management, they are working with someone else, and they're technically working with someone who is actually paying for that. So they don't want to lose them for a very simple reason. They are their customers. So you have to understand they cannot simply reach you out because you have submitted your application, because you have uploaded your resume, and because you have worked hard in your college days. You have to understand this. So if your CV, if I talk about, or I should say if the application you have sent without reading the JD, obviously there is a good possibility that you will be rejected. Let me tell you why. Let's say currently, I'll give you a very simple scenario. One of my friend is actually hiring right now, and they have a requirement of a minimum 2 years of experience. Now they received queries from student like people who have 0 years of experience. So obviously they were rejected irrespective of what they have done, unless they have done something which is very ultimate or very unique, which will actually give them edge over the people who are even experienced persons. So first of all, this is the challenge which is there. So you have to read the job description completely, and you have to understand, is it actually for you? If you are not, if you're not able to satisfy the requirements of the job description, it is better that you not apply for it, because it will save your time. Forget about the recruiter's time, it will save your time. I think someone has a question. Okay, fine. So if you have this kind of a tendency of applying randomly and blindly as a fresher right now, this is a worst mistake you're doing. Secondly, your skill sets are not matching the applications skill set. Now, what do I mean by skill set? Let's say you are a Python developer. The requirement is a JavaScript developer. You have 3 years of experience in Python. Or maybe you're a fresher. Let's consider fresher. You have done two projects in Python, and they're looking for a JavaScript developer. There is a good possibility that your application will be rejected because someone will have some experience with JavaScript. They will come with internship, they will come with anything there. So you have to understand, if your skill set is not matching the requirement of the job, it will be impossible, obviously, for the recruiter to actually consider your application at the first place. So make sure your skill set is matching. if your skill set is not matching, what you have to do, you do not have to apply for the job, otherwise they are not going to call you. That is for sure. So skill set should match the job description if I talk about, or requirements. Next point is, which is quite obvious if I may, your availability. How soon you are available. So let's say now this can be sort of a complicated, or I should say this can be something which is related to how can I say this? This is more for the people who are more experienced, if I may, like who have some experience. But let's still talk about the freshers. Okay, how soon you're available. Okay, so basically what happens, the requirements are there. It has to be satisfied instantaneously. Like obviously companies have their criteria if you're a fresher right now. So if you're saying that you have already applied for a job, you're looking for the opportunity there, so they are a bit dicey. They're not sure that if you will be joining or not. So if you're not available very soon, it will be a bit difficult for you to actually get the proper response. And obviously I'm expecting questions from you guys, and I have turned on the live chats as well. So obviously if you have some questions, you can put there and I'll answer them, because obviously I'm fully fledgedly working in this particular domain if I talk about. So the point, let me repeat, you are not reading the job description properly. Your skill sets are not matching to the requirement of the job. Your skill set obviously I've mentioned, and how soon you're available. The next point is, which is quite obvious, if you don't have some relevant experience towards that industry. So I'll give a very simple scenario or simple example. Let's say the company is hiring for an e-commerce project, and if you don't have that kind of an experience, and someone has that kind of an experience, obviously that person will get a better how can I say this, a better response compared to you, because they already have the experience, or I should say the relevant experience, which is quite important. So you have to understand, if you're applying for a company, if you have some relevant experience in that particular industry, that is a very good point for you. But Avinash, I'm not having any relevant experience, because I was working with this XYZ company, and their focus was fintech. You guys are hiring for e-commerce. So what you can do, you can say that in that particular project you actually collaborated with various companies who were actually working in the e-commerce domain. So from there I get the understanding of the project, like how e-commerce industry works, what kind of a streamlining, or I should say the algorithm part, I have to build. The next point, which is quite important, is you are sending one application for all the jobs without updating your resume relevant to the jobs which are there. Guys, we have to understand, in life, when we want to make it big, we don't have to hit 6 in every single ball. In every 20th ball, if we can hit 6, that is fine. So if I'm applying for a 20 jobs, there is a guarantee that I'll get a call from at least 5 people. I'm taking minimum numbers, and I'll be offered from at least 2 people, because this is the average, this is the scenario. Okay, I think someone is already there. Yeah, fine. So understand this important point. If you're applying, so you don't have to apply for 100 different companies. You have to apply only for companies which you feel like that you actually share the values, and you can actually make your career there. Okay, so it is better to apply in the companies where you can actually post in your relevant experience, or I should say your job application is quite relevant compared to your job application not at all relevant. So this is very important. So make sure that if you're applying for a job, your application is quite relevant. With relevancy, I mean is, let's say they are hiring, again, I'll take an example. You're working in a fintech domain, the company is hiring for an e-commerce domain. So you can actually channelize that you have worked with this particular company, and your main domain was to actually work with the clients who are working in the e-commerce domain. And I am pretty quite well acquainted with the order cancellation, or I should say order refunds, if I talk about why the payment are getting what should I say, the payments are rejected, or maybe the payments are fraudulent kind of a payment, if I talk about. So what is happening here, you are actually working in you are making your application quite relevant to the requirement, which will give the recruiter a potential thinking that, okay, even this candidate does not have the relevant experience, we can still work with him, because his application is quite channelized according to what we are requiring. Again, I'm not going to give you any guarantees here. I'm not going to give you any guarantees here, but you have to understand. Okay, so these are the few points which I wanted to share with you guys, because obviously in this quick live session, there are so many things which are involved. So I just wanted to make sure that you are getting the summarized part of it. Okay, so I just quickly summarize all the points which I have given. So first of all, obviously I'm putting that in the chat, so in case if you have some questions or queries, you can always put that there. So first of all is obviously okay, I've forgotten. Okay, you have not read the JD. Again, guys, my English is not good, so please apologize for that. I apologize for that. Irrelevant skills. Okay, so your skills are irrelevant. That is the second point. The third point is how soon you are available. Join. This is important. Fourth point is, okay, relevant skills I've written, and fine. Skills not matching the JD, and finally same application for all jobs. So these are the 5 points, if I talk about, which we have discussed right now in the last 12 minutes. With this regards, I just wanted to give you a very simple understanding here, that when I am recruiting, again, I cannot show you my hiring portal if I talk about, but when we are recruiting, we see this kind of issues constantly coming up. You won't believe, I must have received around 100 applications today, and I've rejected around 70 by myself, if I talk about, for these kind of reasons. So I thought, why not make a video on this? I was thinking about making a video, if you're not able to find a job, so what should you do? Should you find should you get a job into a relevant domain, or should you strive for a relevant domain and suffer the gap year kind of a stuff? But I thought, instead of that, let's make it, because obviously currently is the hiring season going on right now. A lot of companies are hiring. Obviously the hiring season is going on forever, but obviously you must have actually completed your education right now, and you must be looking for some options. So I thought of sharing these informations with you guys. Again, I would say, if you have any questions, post them in the comment section. I'll make sure that you are receiving the answers which you are requiring for, I should say, strive for. Okay, so with this, guys, another live session is going awesome. I'm expecting more questions from you guys, because usually what happens when we have it an interactive sessions, usually with live interactive sessions, are quite amazing compared to just me speaking and no response at all from you guys. So anyways, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be having an awesome topic, awesome questions, awesome people probably, and obviously I'll make sure that we all together make it big in this life. So with this, thank you guys for today, and I will see you tomorrow.